You're watching the Talkmania, and I'm your host CJ. Welcome back to another album review, which today's album review will be of Stratovarius' Survive, the last album review of the year, the last one I'm doing for this year. So, yeah, and this one is going to be a very long and in-depth album review because I kind of went nuts with this album review. So, there's much more stuff to go over, much more in-depth here for this last one. And I connected with some of the songs, unlike sometimes with other albums. This was more of a connect than what happened before with me. So buckle up, it's going to be a long video. So if you're playing video games along with it, if you're listening that way, it's fine. Okay, that's an idea, but yeah, this might be long. Let's go into it. Stratovarius really surprised me with this album being as good as it is because Survive had no hype behind it at all. I didn't hear about this album until like last month, and yeah, I missed the release of this album. It was released in like March or April. Yeah, promotion behind it, and didn't even know it was out. Yeah, I would have reviewed this one earlier. I would have gotten to it earlier if I knew it was out, but I didn't. Stratovarius for me has been a legacy band. If you don't know what a legacy band is to me, it's basically one that I go back and listen to some of the older stuff, like Rotting Christ, for example, for me, and some of the stuff from like Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden is not really a legacy band because I like a lot of their like newer stuff as well. But yeah, Rotting Christ. Um, yeah, basically that like the newer stuff is not as good as the older stuff. That's how I feel about Stratovarius, but this album is worth listening to because it kind of breaks that thing. Listen to the classics like Episodes and Visions. The, yeah. But this album is worth a listen as it delivers. This album delivers on every level, honestly. It's a great album. It's fine all the way through. I can listen to it all the way through. This album shows that Stratovarius is still a strong band that can release quality albums. I know a lot of people have been saying like, "Oh, Stratovarius hasn't released since like 2015," and yeah, they came back big with this one, in my opinion. Survive is a very good album. It's much better than their last album that they did. This album was a good experience, and it was hard to pick five standouts, which some of the standouts. So here is six. Honestly, I picked six standout songs for this album. Couldn't really pick five because there were six songs that just really captured the epicness of this album. It might not be as long as I'm thinking it's going to be. So, standouts, demand, the vocals in the song is what stands out as the deliveries are amazing. The vocal deliveries on demand is really good. The guitars are really good. Basically everything. It's it's power metal, honestly. It's melodic power metal. Um, yeah, broken. When the chorus hits, this song hits with flying into the heaven type vocals. If you know what that means, it's like the soaring over the top vocals that like is encompassing of power metal and what power metal entails mostly, like stuff like Halloween, Hammerfall, Stratovarius. That yeah, something I like. It's something I like in power metal. My favorite power metal albums are always the ones with the very high soaring vocals. We Are Not Alone, power metal guitar riffs are some of my favorite types of riffs, and this song contains some good ones as well as some great vocal parts as well. We Are Not Alone, another one of my favorites on this album. And here we go to the one that I went in depth with because it connects quite. World on Fire, the lyrics give me the impression this is a song about climate and protecting the planet. Which I connect with the song as I feel the same way about it. That protecting the planet for future generations is some of the most important things you could possibly do. And writing a song about something so meaningful makes this song a gem on this album and one of the best songs in this album. And it's done quite well. I know a lot of like concept songs are like done really poorly, but this one is actually really good. This is actually one of the best ones, even without that theme to it. Even if you take the theme aspect out of it, it's still really good. But it just connects with me more because, yeah. Glory Days, the song has some heavy riffage to it, blazing fast on high, gives a classic Stratovarius feel. I would say that if this song was on episode, for example, I wouldn't know the difference. If this song was on episode and this one, it basically fit on both albums, which is kind of cool to think about. And my favorite song on the album is Voice of Thunder, the last song, which is 11-minute masterpiece at the very end of the album. The guitar parts are intense in some parts and melodic in others. And the soaring vocals on top makes this song even better. Like, honestly, ending with an epic 11-minute song that just the whole album just leads you up to it, and then just the best song at the very end is just a really like fulfilling feeling to get to the end and listen to the best song in the album. And along the way, you listen to some really good songs as well. That's something that I really don't hear from a lot of bands, and they kind of like to put their best songs at the very front. I like how Voice of Thunder is at the very end. I think it's just an absolute good placement for that song to be at the end. Yeah, what not to like about this album? I know a lot of people are not gonna say it's not like the old Stratovarius. It isn't. It isn't, honestly, but it's nothing to it's nothing bad, honestly. New Stratovarius isn't as bad as everybody says it is, and isn't it? A lot of people do shit on Stratovarius for their newer stuff, but their newer stuff is pretty good. I like it. This is probably their best of their newer albums, and yeah. So that's what I think of this album. Yeah, it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be, the video, but yeah, hope everyone liked it, and I will see everyone in the next video. Yeah.